85 years of age, Betty Woodman might be forgiven for slowing down. But far from it. The American artist has just opened a new exhibition showcasing some of her work from the last 10 years. She's best known for her brightly coloured ceramics, but beware of calling her a potter. Belle Lupton went to meet her.
Betty Woodman, it's a pleasure to talk to you, thank you. Now, you've worked most of your life with ceramics, and we see, looking around us here, that there are ceramics everywhere, and yet you don't like necessarily being called a potter. Can you explain that to me?
Well, I think it's, I started off over 60 years ago as a potter, wanting to be a potter and becoming a potter. It's just that, I would say for at least the last 30 years, I think the ideas that I'm interested in are really ideas about art and not ideas about being a potter.
What for you is the joy of working with clay as opposed to paint or oils?
Somehow out of nothing, you make something. And all of my work is made on the wheel, and that's kind of a magic.
Do you see yourself very much as a female artist?
I think it's interesting because the world of ceramics was clearly dominated by kind of macho male figures. I think when people became interested in including women, I was around to be included.
Now, you were also the first living female artist to have a full retrospective done at the Metropolitan Museum in New York. How did that come about?
I don't know how it came about, but it was nice.
I read somewhere that it might have been because of a really good meal that you might have cooked.
Lunch, right.
Was it a good lunch? What happened?
Oh, no, it's my pancakes, that's it. Yeah.
So you made the curator some pancakes, and then that was...
I did make the curator some pancakes. I have a very good pancake recipe, and it wins every time.
Why was it so important for you to have that retrospective then and not to wait a bit longer?
Oh, I don't think you wait, you take what you get. I think the question really is, and was for me, what do I do now after that? Since then, in the 10 years, I have been much freer about perhaps combining materials.
Betty, you spend half your time in Italy and half your time in New York now.
Right.
What effect does that have on your work? Does it change from one place to the other?
Yes, I think it does. There's sort of stopping and starting again in either direction. I went to Italy the first time in 1951 and spent a year. I'd never seen a great big building like the Duomo that was pink and blue and white, and we didn't have buildings like that in Boston. It's sort of gray. And I think in terms of the ceramics, I found a whole Mediterranean tradition of clay.
What strikes me is how much work there is here, and this is just the work of the last 10 years. You're pretty prolific.
It's not all of it,
And it's not even all of it. So how do you produce that much? What do you attribute that quantity of production to?
Well, I think I work very compulsively, and this is, it's what I like doing. Nobody's forcing me to do it. It's what I know how to do, and I think I am disciplined, and I'm I'm a little less disciplined today, but I was very disciplined when I was younger. It's very serious making art. It's a serious business. I think my work isn't involved with trying to make people feel badly. I think that it's involved really with trying to make people perhaps feel better. I think I'm old enough to just feel free to do what I want to do. I think I'm not trying to fit myself into a particular pattern or movement of art. I think in that sense, it's a wonderful moment because everything is possible.
So what is next for Betty Woodman?
What's next for Betty Woodman? I think what's next is going to be, I hope, a 10-meter long bronze fountain for Liverpool.
Wow.
For the biennial.
Okay, so no retirement plans soon?
No, no.
Thank you very much, Betty.
Okay.